Greetings, friends. We continue today's work integrating knowledge, love, sacrifice, using our techniques of indifference, of light, and of presence. Aspirants would do well to avoid any concentration at all upon the physical body and learn gradually to shift their focus of attention into the etheric body. Necessarily, the physical body is active and potent, but increasingly it should be regarded as an automaton, influenced and directed by inspiration, emanating from points of spiritual tension, influenced and directed by sentient, conscious love, emanating from the soul, influenced and directed by illumination, coming from higher sources than the life in the three worlds. The soul, as a vehicle of monadic impression, until such time as the Antakarana is built, is that bridge in mental matter which will eventually link the monad and the personality. By means of the technique of indifference, Maya is ended. For the control of the purified astral vehicle is consciously and technically brought into activity, producing the freeing of the energies of the etheric body from the control of matter and of force substance, and bringing men in large numbers onto the probationary path, where there is a divine indifference to the call or pull of matter. Then inspiration becomes possible to use matter with complete impersonality, enabling one to live a life inspired by God. Inspiration is the applied power of transmission. By means of our technique of light, the illumined mind assumes control over the astral or emotional body and dissipates glamour. When light pours in, glamour fades out. Illumination dominates, and the vision of reality can be seen. Illumination is the applied power of transformation. By means of our technique of the presence, the soul assumes control of the integrated personality and of its relation, horizontal and vertical. Our technique involves the unfolding of the flower of the intuition, dispelling illusion, revealing the angel, indicating the presence, and opening up to the disciple the world of ideas and the door of the higher initiations. Through the disciple's grasp and application of these divine ideas or seed thoughts, the disciple becomes an initiate, and the third initiation becomes possible as an immediate goal. The intuition is the applied power of transfiguration. This technique is related to the little-known yoga called Agni Yoga, or the yoga of fire. Let us remember our Master DK's teachings and then the presence. Stage by stage, each person progresses from one state of illusion or glamour to another, from one point of discriminative opportunity to another, until they have developed three major capacities. The capacity to handle force, devitalizing Maya. The capacity to tread the middle way between the pairs of opposites, dissipating glamour. The capacity to use the intuition, dispelling illusion. You must bear in mind that none of these three stages are in reality divided off from each other by clear lines of demarcation, nor do they follow each other in a clear sequence. They proceed with much overlapping, and often with a partial simultaneity. It is only when the disciple faces certain initiations that they awaken to the fact of these distinctions. May the holy ones, whose disciple I am, Show me the light I seek. Give me the strong aid of their compassion and their wisdom. There is a peace which passeth understanding. It abides in the hearts of those who live in the eternal. There is a power which maketh all things new. It lives and moves in those who know the self as one. May that peace brood over us, that power uplift us till we stand where the one initiator is invoked, till we see his star shine forth. Let us enter into an even deeper alignment with the soul of our group and see our group approaching Master DK's study. To develop our group focus in dissipating glamour, we use the creative imagination, controlled by the mind, transmitting an image from the abstract mind into the astral field, facing the group members as if eye to eye, and establishing a soul to soul connection. In silence, we withdraw from personal and world affairs and center on the work to be done, setting up a magnetic field of positive, receptive activity. Silence. Assume the attitude of the observer. Envision your etheric body, your aura, which includes your health aura. Envision your astral emotional aura, and finally, your mental aura. Encapsulating your expressed etheric radiance and your place upon the path of evolution, your personality instrument. The outline of these spheres, these auras, in a unity. Now, imagine the interconnections, the elemental and Davic streams flowing, relating, connecting these auras as a single unified field, and sound the words together of Roberto Assaggio. I have a body. I am not my body. I have emotions. I am not my emotions. I have a mind. I am not my mind. Now, lift the attention within these united spheres to the highest point, the deepest point of life within your being, the soul. We say, I am the soul. I am light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. Our aim is to embody spiritual discernment, practice positive harmlessness, and eventually achieve a state of divine indifference as we dispel illusion, dissipate glamours, devitalize Maya in all our relationships. More radiant than the sun, purer than the snow, subtler than the ether is the self, the spirit within my heart. I am that self. That self am I. I am one with my group brothers and sisters, and all that I have is theirs. May the love of the one soul pour forth to all. May the energy of the one soul lift and aid all. May the thoughts which the soul creates reach and encourage all. May the energy of the divine self be spread abroad in our hearts, through our groups, and throughout the world. linking your heart, head, and ajna center. Find the spark of monadic life hidden within the center of your being. Allow this point, that which you perceive as the presence, to permeate your entire being. Aligned with the soul of all. Draw down soul radiance into the egoic lotus, the soul vehicle, the vessel of the soul in incarnation. Silence. Receive from the ashram. As this greater group that has formed and is forming, becoming the channel for the dissipation of glamour and dispelling of illusion, using the sign of the cross of divinity, let us sound the protective formula. As the soul, we work in light. And darkness cannot touch us. We take our stand within the light. We work, and from that point, we never move. Maintaining a focused, immovable will as the point of tension, the identification of the brain with its rays 1, 3, 7. The mind rays 3, 4, 5. And the soul, the second ray with the 6th and 3rd ray. With the will aspect and the preservation of that identification, unchanged and immovable in all circumstances and difficulties. Remembering that the will aspect is contacted only from the mental plane, and only those, therefore, who are working with and through the mind can begin to appropriate this energy. we project lines of lighted energy across the channel of light that bridges the gap through the one's world serving group and links the souls of all with the hierarchy. In unity with the Christ consciousness, the will to love, and the enlightened wisdom of the Buddha, we sound together. In the center of the will of God, we stand. Naught shall deflect our will from God's will. We implement that will by love. We turn towards the field of service as the triangle divine. We work out that will within the square and serve humanity. Using the powers of transmission, illumination, and the sparks of intuitive force streaming from the planetary lives, which are aligned with the full moon of Virgo, as those stream into the hierarchy from Mercury, the will to harmonize, Venus, the will to act, and the moon veiling Vulcan, the will to initiate, Neptune, the will to cause, and Uranus, the will to express. To Christ as the central point of the hierarchy, with the Buddha, the will to love and the will to good. We align with that great identity, a living unity, which we call the presence. We absorb the lighted lines of divine ideals into the mind of the world serving group as divine ideas, issuing forth from the rain cloud of knowable things to be distributed into the abstract mind as spiritual discernment in the soul vessels, the egoic lotus, the highest heart in each of us. we enter into a beam of directed, focused light, revealing a greater light and illumining the way to the center of the light. Directing our way. Now, merging into the group presence with those joining subjectively and via our matrices of enlightened service activities, our current service groups and triangles of light in the heart, mind, heart in the head, we sound the mantra of light. Radiance, we are, and power. We stand forever with our hands stretched out, linking the heavens and the earth. The inner world of meaning and the subtle world of glamour. We reach into the light and bring it down to meet the need. We reach into the silent place and bring from thence the gift of understanding. Thus, with the light, we work and turn the darkness into day. Then we say, in unison, the light is one, and in that light shall we see light. This is the light that turns the darkness into day. Sounding the Om as the group soul on its own plane, sounded forth by the group soul, the realized unity of the souls of all the group members. Sounding the Om as the soul on the mental plane. Sounding the Om as the soul on the astral plane, the soul ready to function as light bearer and distributor of light upon the astral plane. We pause for a few minutes as we attempt to throw behind the searchlight that we have created together in consciousness our united, directed, and dynamic will, our intent along the projected beam of light. The destructive quality of the spiritual will, destructive to all that hinders the manifestation of divinity, devitalizing Maya, dissipating glamour, and dispelling illusion. We have attained a united point of tension. We have dedicated the individual and the group will to the will of God. This act of will, carried on by each member of the group silently, with a deep realization that all of us are thus accepted, and that it is the group will which is being silently focused. Then we say together, with power upon its beam, the light is focused on the goal. Silent. Using the creative imagination, hold a vision of your being, inspired as the transmitting agent of the soul. The groups with which you are working and affiliated as transmitting the radiance of the soul. The nations transform as cooperative entities, as agents of the plan for humanity. The world evolving in alignment with the plan as the hierarchy is externalized. Each of us, in our own way, in a period of focused silence, Visualize with the spiritual eye of the soul the Maya devitalized on the physical etheric plane. And humanity acting with divine indifference as good will permeates the planetary etheric physical plane. Silence. Using the creative imagination, hold a vision of your being illumined, transformed, the groups in which you're working and affiliated, transformed, the nations, transformed, the world, transformed. Each of us in our own way, in a period of focused silence. Envision the clearings of the fogs of glamour with the focused light of the brain and mind of the one world serving group, merged with the soul light, dissipating the glamours that are limiting clear vision, causing confusion and hindering the plan for humanity. Silent. Using the creative imagination, hold a vision of touching the Buddhic plane, sparks of intuition received by the groups with which you are working and affiliated, and translated into activities aligned with the presence that will inspire the nations to fulfill the plan and transform the world, prepared for the externalization of the hierarchy and the reappearance of the Christ in the coming age. Each of us, in our own way, in a period of focused silence, imagine a potent, directed light, a vision of the energy of the presence, dispelling all illusions that hinder the work of the one serving group to assist and aid humanity in this work of translation. Silence. We silently connect into the great web of light, illuminating the jewel in the lotus, the central vessel, the spark of the presence in the crown of the group. Sounding Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. With increasing indifference as servers, we move gradually to a point of identification with the soul of all, eventually achieving divine indifference. It is divine indifference which is responsible for the fact that in attempting to describe pure being or God, and in the effort to arrive at some understanding of the nature of divinity, the formula of negation has been evolved. God is not this. God is not that. God is no thing. God is neither time nor space. God is not feeling or thought. God is not form or substance. God simply is. God is. Apart from all expression and manifestation, as the manipulator of energy, the creator of the tangible and the intangible worlds, the purveyor of life, or the indweller in all forms. God is the one who can withdraw, and in withdrawing, dispel, dissipate, and devitalize all that has been created. Using these words in their fullest significance. We strive for indifference as it leads to right illumination, which is another name or aspect of right direction. It will take the place of glamour and the objective personally considered of the group of disciples utilizing the technique of the trained observers is to bring light into dark places and illumination into their lives. We stand in unison, serving under the law of abstraction, and blend the lights of matter and a mind to fuse and blend with soul light. The act of abstraction produces the dispelling of the illusory world of thought. The withdrawal of the divine attention dissipates the sentient universe and brings glamour to an end. The cessation of divine direction brings death to the physical world. All these activities are evidences of the will, or of the first aspect, the will to good, which can and will function in perfection only when goodwill is finally and fully developed on earth through the agency of humanity. The will and the breath, my brother, are occultly synonymous terms. In this statement, you have the clue to the ending of Maya. It must never be forgotten that all egos work in group formation. And under the direct control of those thinkers who embody the divine logoic thought, the work of every aspirant, therefore, seeks to bring the brain consciousness in line with that thought which reaches him via his own soul consciousness. And in the consummation of this, the divine plan is gradually worked out into manifestation on the physical plane. As each son of God brings the active mind stuff for which he is responsible into such a condition that it becomes responsive to divine thought, then will the plan of the ages be carried to a conclusion. The work of the aspirant to union is to swing the mind stuff gradually and increasingly under the higher impulse and away from the lower vibration, until the responsiveness to the higher becomes a stable condition, and the vibratory activity of the lower man fades and dies out. In alignment, let us sound the mantra of the new group of world servers. May the power of the one life pour through the group of all true servers. May the love of the one soul characterize the lives of all who seek to aid the great ones. May we fulfill our part in the one work through self-forgetfulness, harmlessness, and right speech.